welcome. It's Wednesday night once again. The time just tears past, isn't it? It's tearing past. A very good evening to you. It's Wednesday, the 24th of August, 2022. Welcome along to tonight's little chat show. I'd say it's been very hot today. I didn't expect that at all. I did my usual in the morning, done my little radio show in the morning, then went down the swimming pool. That was all right. And then when I came out the swimming pool, it was really hot because this morning it was all overcast. And I came out the swimming pool, the sun was on, and where it hit you, I thought, oh, I'm burning here. You know, came back home, had my dinner. I did one of my campfire stews this morning, full of chili and garlic, which is possibly the wrong thing to eat. You know, on a hot day. And then after that, I thought, well, I must go down to the chemist and get a couple of prescriptions. Those magic pills, and I meant to bring them up and show them to you today. I have a new magic pill that the doctor prescribed to me about 4 weeks ago now. It's the anti-acid thing. Oh, they're fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. I can't tell you how good they are. They really are. So he put them, you'll know the story if you're a regular viewer to the show, but he put me up, Omni something. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Omni, acid pills. I don't know, acid pills, probably not that. Onicid? No, not that. Here we are. Omeprazole. How do you say that? Omeprazole. And they're like a little capsule. As you know, I've been having this acid issue now for years. It's got to be at least 5 years, and I've kind of put up with it. I started nosing around on the internet. It's actually not good to let it do what it just does. It's not good. It needs to be treated. And I'd heard of these pills, and I sent a message to the doctor. I mean, getting a blooming appointment is another thing. We'll come on to that a bit later. But he replied back and says, I've prescribed you some of these, see if they help. Well, I took one on the Friday afternoon. That was it. No more acid since at all. And you're supposed to take one every morning. So I left it for a few days, and I messaged the doctor back, you know, these are working perfectly. Fantastic. I put it on the repeat prescription. Hey, presto, done. Omeprazole. I bet some of you are on that as well, aren't you? Have one every morning, except I've now gone to one every 2 days with no noticeable difference, to be honest. And obviously, all drugs have some sort of side effect, whatever they put you on. You know, so you want to take as little as possible. So I'm now doing one every 48 hours. I was going to go on to one every 72. Is it 48, 58, 68? No, I was going to try it every 72 hours next. But today, as I say, I had this chili stuff, and I thought, oh, you better have one before that. And I had one just after swimming at about 12 o'clock, and then I had the dinner at about 12:30. Lot of chili in there, and no problems whatsoever. The magic pills, I mean, they really are magic pills, those things. So that's that. And after I had my dinner, I then walked down to the chemist to get my repeat prescription. God, it was hot. And then I said, I asked the lady in the smart speaker, that little lady who lives in your smart, what's the temperature? Amazon, what's the temperature? She said it's 28 degrees. Well, I didn't expect that today. I think we were expecting that tomorrow. Certainly not today. And I struggled to the chemist and back again. Like this I was. Got back here, watched a little bit of telly, and then went to bed. I've just started watching a new film. If you've got the Amazon Prime, you'll be able to get it, okay? New film on Amazon Prime called 13 Lives. If you're typing it into the search box, type the word 13, not the number. I don't know if the number might work. I typed in the whole word, 13 Lives, okay? And that's the story. Do you remember the little boys in Thailand who went into a cave? Okay? They were playing football and then they went into this cave, and there was a load of rain came down and it flooded the cave and they couldn't get out and they had to be rescued. Do you remember that news story? About 4 or 5 years ago now. That's the film. If you don't like looking at subtitles, it won't be for you, because the Thailand language is spoken as it is. It's not been dubbed into English, and you've got little subtitles at the bottom there. I often struggle with those, not because I can't read, I can't be bothered with this, but actually this seems to be working for me. So I'm about 10 minutes in so far. So if you want to watch that, that's a good film to watch. 13 Lives. Another couple of films I've watched, which I mentioned on the radio show this morning. Eye in the Sky. That's on Netflix. Eye in the Sky. And it's about in Afghanistan, I think it is, or Iraq, one of them countries. Okay. And they've got a drone watching what goes on in like little townships and places like that, and they have this little fly drone which literally fly. Amazing, really, when you think about it. It flies into someone's window and then sits up there. It's got a miniature little tiny little camera on it, and it watches them putting suicide jackets on and things like that. So that's quite good. And what was the other one I watched? Repo Man. Excellent film, Repo Man. So set slightly into the future, but by the look of it, to be honest, not that far in the future at all. And I can see this. You can see this absolutely happening, right? Where if you need a new organ, heart, lungs, kidneys, whatever, they had spines as well like that. You go to this company, you know, yours has had it, right? You go to this company, you say, I'd like a new heart. Yeah, no problem at all. They come and put a new heart for them in you, and you start paying for it. I don't think you can buy it outright. It's like one of those monthly subscriptions, and you know how much I hate those, dear. You know how much I hate a monthly subscription. Huh? Exactly, yes. So you pay for it monthly, and if for some reason you fall behind on the pavements, they send out the repo men, right, to go and get your organ, and it is retrieved there and then when they find you. Thank you, mate. And they slit you open, retrieve the heart and take it back, clean it up and give it to someone else. I love it. I wonder if that would be available on the NHS. Maybe one or two of you have got bits and pieces in there. Well, it's already started, isn't it? You know, they have those hearing implants, don't they? You know, like some people have this thing in their head, and they have an external like metal thing that they like a magnet click on, and they can hear. It's fantastic. Heart pacemakers, all sorts of things people have got inside them now, haven't they? You know, perhaps that's. Well, I'm sure it will come at some point. Stuff like that. We'll never die, will we? We'll never die. We'll never die. Anyway, there we are. If you'd like to join in today, feel free. You can either send us a text on the number just up there, 07451 287 337, or what's the other one? Or go in the chat box. Sometimes I miss your messages in the chat box, okay? So don't start getting all irate. Ow, you read everyone's out except me. No, I do try and keep an eye on it, but it gets so busy with people just generally talking about crap in there, like cars and football. How uninteresting is that? Okay, like sometimes your messages get a little bit mixed up. So if you want to jump that, text, but the text only works for UK numbers, right? There is an email. I won't give out the email because I keep forgetting to check it. That's the only reason. But if you want the email, I don't know, shall I put it? Oh no, I'll put it up there. I'll try and remember to check it out because I know a couple of you like to join in by email for whatever reason. All right, so let's just read some of your little messages there, my love. Oh, look who it is, Mark Jones. Good evening, Mark. Mark, I saw you while I was sitting on the toilet 20 minutes ago. Yes, I can't believe you talked to those two. Oh, I can't bear them. I can't stand those two. Oh, my God, Mark. What's all that about? Tap, 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 tap. Oh, do us a favour. Give us some blooming content to enjoy. Tap, 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 tap. Mark, what are you doing, love? You've let the sign down, my love. I saw you. Literally, I was sitting on the toilet 20 minutes ago, and there you were. I thought, oh, I can't believe Mark has texted into these lot, or videoed in, or whatever you call it. Evening to you, Mark. I hope you're well there. Stephen Dagenham's there. Good evening, Steve. All right, Steve. Evening, Chris. Hope you're well. Tuned into your radio show this week and loved it. Was that your first time, Steve? I'm glad you like it. I'm so pleased you like it. I have, and I'm not just saying this, I have so much fun doing that in the morning. And it's a real buzz, right? Because you've got to time everything. And the timing, I don't write anything down. Like, for example, you know, here's the script for tonight. That's the script for tonight. I don't write anything down, and it's the same on the radio. But when it gets to near 10 o'clock, say around about 10 minutes to 10 o'clock, which is 10 minutes before I finish, or 15 minutes before I finish, then my mind starts going into overtime, trying to get my timing right. right? Because I like the last song to finish before the news come on. They don't all do it on there. Some of them they play. I mean, some of them played like 10 seconds of the last song, and it just sounds awful. Well, it sounds awful to me anyway. I like to do it properly, so I like the last record to finish before the blooming news comes on. some of them, I've heard a couple of times on there where you literally get the intro to a song and then the news comes on and well, where's the rest of the song? Run out of time, you know, because you can't go over. It takes you off. That's it. You've got to get that timing right, and it's all a bit like that. And listening even to what I'm saying and then hitting the jingle at the right moment at the sort of where you think it should go, if you see what I mean. Years ago, I used to do an internet radio station and take phone calls that may have been on CMP radio. And there was a bloke on there. And I used to take phone calls on that. And you'd constantly be, after a while of talking to someone, right, you'd be listening for the right moment to come out of it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe like a little comment with a little bit of funny on the end. You say, well, nice to, you know, and you bang on the jingle and then go to the record. And he used to get a bit upset. Oh, I hadn't finished. Well, we'd finished with you, mate. You were so bleeding boring. You're constantly listening for like little cues and that where you can come in with a jingle or say something or whatever like that, you know. But I absolutely love doing that in the morning. Yeah, I get up at 7:15 to do that. And it also gives me a bit of routine. I like a routine. I do like a routine. I do like a routine there. So I'm so glad you enjoy that, Steve. Anyone else who wants to join us, we're there every morning, Monday to Friday, boys and girls, reachonair.com. There it is, 9 till 10 o'clock. You can listen on your Amazon. All you got to do is say Amazon, play radio station, Reach on Air. Obviously, you don't say Amazon. You speak the lady's name. And it should start playing through for you on there, all right? Every morning, 9 till 10 o'clock, Monday to Friday, reachonair.com if you're listening on a computer. All righty. Hello to Paul in Ashford, who said, good evening from a sultry Ashford in Kent. Yeah, it's sultry here tonight. It's quite warm. As I say, it was warm today. I've got my aircon on, which is set to 20. I'm going to drop that to 18. I like a cool studio when I'm doing my work, so thank you very much there. Good evening to Greg. Very good evening to Greg. Hello to John Parrish. What you been doing, Greg? Oh, look, it's Noah in Alderney Edge. Good evening to you. Noah is in the house. He has taken a break, boys and girls. The man is building another ark. You won't be on it. I've been invited. Noah says you can come onto my ark, no problem. I mean, I'm not being... He did try and actually sell me a ticket. You know, sell me... It's building an ark at the moment because it's coming. The second coming is coming. It's coming, dear. It's coming. Already, bright lights are coming out the sky. Yes, and I'll be on that ark, free of charge. Thank you very much. You can buy a ticket. And actually, your tickets for normal people, like non-star-like people, Noah. Is it very expensive? You know, someone like perhaps, I don't know, Gemma Collins. I mean, is there room for Gemma Collins on your ark? I mean, I'm just asking, Noah says, evening, it's hot here too. I'm sweating like Gemma Collins doing a two-piece jigsaw. Oh, you are naughty, dear. I was in Brighton last weekend. So good down there. I'm not keen on it, to be honest. I'm not keen on Brighton at all, to be honest, Noah. I like Hove, which is like literally 5 minutes down the road, walking, not in the car, walking. But Brighton it's just a little bit too busy for me. I don't like it when it's too busy. Believe it or not, if I'm not at work, I have difficulty coping in situations where there's more than 3 or 4 people. That's true, that is. I do have a bit difficult unless I'm working and doing something like doing a karaoke, DJing, playing the organ. You see, I've been brought in to do something. If I'm just there and I've got just there with loads of other people, I don't cope too well with that for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, Noah, I'm glad you enjoyed it down there and perhaps a little bit of a tan in Brighton there. Diane Jebb in the house. Good evening, Diane. Welcome along to lovely Diane. Hello to the lovely Shania on the Isley of Widget. Evening, Shania. I'm glad you like that last hymn this week. I hope they know it. Da 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 da. Da 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 la 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 da 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 da. Oh, I love it, Shania. I hope they know it. He's singing there on my own, wasn't I? Good evening to Maureen. Hello to you, Maureen. All right, my love. Thank you very much for the sandwiches on Friday. I had those actually, Maureen, not on Saturday night, but on Saturday afternoon. I had them for my lunch. When you gave me those sandwiches Friday, I put them straight in the fridge. I don't know if you noticed. I put them in the fridge, and then I collected them on the way out, and I had them actually Saturday afternoon for lunch. So I would never waste your food. So thank you very much for that, Maureen. Steve Murray says, what's happened to Mark Bowles? Not mentioned him on the last couple of shows I've caught. He's still around. He was there this morning, actually. The delightful Mark Bowles was there this morning. Don't you worry about our Mark. He's still on my cards. He is the only person on my list now. There he is, Mark Bowles, having a little pint there. All right, yeah, he was actually there for the radio show this morning. So thank you, Steve. A very, very good evening to the delightful Fag Ash Leo. Hello, Chris, how are you? Fag Ash Leo, lighting another bleating woodbine while she's watching the show, aren't you? She said, must try too... Yeah, you tried too early there. That's why that was there, my darling. All right. Welcome, Fag Ash Leo. Evening to the delightful... very good friend in the Ulster television area is our very good friend Gary Ross. Is your missus there today, Gary? Eh? Hello, Gary. Welcome to the show. There's Mark Jones. He says, I spotted him earlier. I spotted you earlier, Mark, on TikTok. I saw you while I was sitting on that toilet. Very, very disappointing, Mark. Very disappointing. I can't bear those two. I've been trying to, there's certain people on TikTok, and I thought, oh, not them again. And I don't know how to stop those, a particular creator coming up. How do you do that? I'm not going to share it on here in case you try and not look at me. I will be disappointed then not to have your attention, Mark. Can't believe you was on there earlier. It was you, wasn't it, Mark? Mr. Jones in Welsh Wales and the Harlock television area? Yes, thank you, Mark. He says, I'll definitely be going on the ark there. And Noah says, my ex-girlfriend is twinned with the Eiffel Tower. I read that the... Let me better read this first. Yeah, okay. My ex-girlfriend is twinned with the Eiffel Tower. I read that the Eiffel Tower is riddled with cracks and rust. Oh, you are awful, dear. It's a bit old now. Get rid of it and get a new one, dear. That's what I say. She's being held together by millions of rivets. He says, £5 for the Ark. I was in a pub called the Queen's Arms in Kemptown. Hove is good. Yeah, I do prefer Hove to Brighton there. Anyway, thank you for your kind messages. You want to send a text, 07451 287 337 is my text number. Let's have a quick jolt into the old chat box there and see if there's anyone else there who hasn't been there. Let's have a look right at the top there. Good evening to Mick and Mandy Davenport down in Bristol. Evening to you too. Hello to DJ Coolio. Liam is in the house. Liam from Reach on Air. Evening to you, Ian. Liam, sorry. Liam. DJ Coolio. Derek Martin in the Republic of Ireland is in the house this evening. Good evening to you, Derek. Peter Wright is joining us. Good evening to Peter. Scrolling. Mark Jones has sent a £1.79 super chat. Thank you, Mark. A nice little tip from Mark Jones this evening. Much appreciated, Mark. Let's play the tip jingle. Thank you, Mark. I hope you didn't send those other people tips. I want to be exclusive recipient of your tips, if you don't mind, Mark. Eh? Very kind of you. Very, very generous, Mark Jones. I saw that you were bored earlier. You were bored on that person's TikTok. I'm not going to mention them because I can't bear them. Oh, they get on my bleeding tits, they do. Tap, 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 keep tapping. Oh, please do us a favour. Give us something to watch, for Christ's sake. There's some very, very talented people on that TikTok, as I say. People playing various instruments. There's a couple of people, they just open it up and play requests on the piano or guitar and flute and whatever, stuff like that. Little people doing their little thing. It's wonderful, really is. There's my sister, Sharon's there. Martin and Sharon were on the radio tonight, BBC Three Counties Radio. They were on about 20 to 8, and I was listening to that. And the BBC contacted them because they've been watching one of the videos that he made about air fryers, which a lot of people are buying these air fryers. Now, if you want to buy an air fryer, I would do it now, right? Because these are picking up interest. And they'll only put the prices up once a load of people start buying them. So if you want to buy an air fryer, buy it now. They are extremely cheap to run in comparison to your oven. Now, what was the figure I heard? Was it £600 a year or something like that? You save quite a few £100 a year by using an air fryer instead of an oven. That's what I've heard. I haven't done experiments or anything like that. I heard on the radio you can save quite a few £100 a year. If you buy an air fryer, I believe you get the money back in about 4 or 5 months in savings on electricity. So, of course, especially if you've got a family. You know, if you've got a family, you want a bigger one. If you're on your own, perhaps a smaller one. My very good friend Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning, she's got a 4.5 litre one, and she says it's massive. It's massive. So I don't know. My sister's got one with 2 drawers, as indeed now has my niece and my nephew's wife as well. And they're all using these air fryers. Anyway, the BBC obviously saw it, BBC Three Counties Radio, and they contacted Martin, my brother-in-law, and they said, would you come on and talk about your air fryers? And indeed, of course, you get to talk about your channel as well. So I expect they'll get a few more subscribers on there. If you want to listen back to that, there'll be the BBC replay function. So go on the BBC Three Counties Radio on the BBC Sounds app and look for the replay for BBC Three Counties Radio. You're looking for tonight, Wednesday, the 24th of August, at round about 7:40 p.m, 20 to 8, okay? And you'll be able to hear the whole conversation there. They gave him about 8 minutes, I think, altogether, which is quite a long time because that's a good chat on there. All right? So excellent. We are off, of course, myself, my sister and my brother-in-law, to the Abba concert tomorrow. I say the Abba concert, the Abba experience. And if you don't know already, they have their own concert venue near Stratford in Pudding Mill Lane in London, and we're all going tomorrow night. I've got my tickets here. Look at this. I've got my train tickets. There we go. I'm going to get the 4 o'clock train from here all the way to Stratford. I didn't get the Docklands Light Railway because I discovered after I bought them that the nearest sort of station is not actually Stratford, that being it is within 15-20 minutes walk. The actual nearest station is Pudding Mill Lane, which is on the Docklands Light Railway. Now, I've never been on that, so there's another little experience which I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So I'll get to Stratford, then I'll buy a ticket for the Docklands Light Railway, and then I'll get on there and hopefully end up just one or 2 stops to Pudding Mill Lane, and you get off there, and the Abba Arena is just over the road from there. So showtime, I think, is 7:30 tomorrow, and it's on for about an hour and a half, then I get a train home. So that's what we're all doing tomorrow. Sharon and Martin, they've got a hotel as well, which I think is near Stratford. Premier Inn, so it'll be a very reasonable price. And, of course, you know what a Premier Inn's like. I love it. Premier Inn, Travelodge, you know exactly what you're going to get when you pay for it. You know. And I don't think if you book far enough ahead, you can usually get a room for 35, 45, 50 quid, something like that. Don't leave it till the day, because that's when the prices shoot up, all right? So looking forward to that tomorrow. Good evening to Bill in Scotland. Welcome to you, sir. Peter Wright, I think Chris should go on Talk TV. No, you've got to be very intelligent to go on something like Talk TV and LBC. I have opinions about stuff, but when it was become to political stuff, and again, I would have opinions on that, but I'm not necessarily clued up. I'm not a very highly intelligent person, you know. I know about certain things that I have great interest in, for example, solar panels. You know, I could sit here until the cows come home and talk to you about those because I know quite a lot about them. Anything that sort of shows an interest, then I do look into it. But if something doesn't interest me, I mean, I know a little bit about politics, but you've got to know what Boris Johnson said 3 years ago at the Conservative, and I wouldn't know any of that. You know, it's like the Eurovision Song Contest, Peter. I like the Eurovision Song Contest, but I'm not a fanatic. I couldn't sit here and reel off to you a list of dates and who won and who come second and when we got no points. I know that we got no points, and I know that a few years ago, Brotherhood of Man won, Bucks Fizz won for our country, Katrina and the Waves won. I know that, but I couldn't give you the date. I think Katrina and the Waves, 1997, but I'm guessing. And you have to have that knowledge in your head if you're going to do something like that. So I've realised over time that I'm not the person to do that. I always wanted to do a talk radio thing, as in, you know, like proper radio or something like that. Or indeed the little videos, sometimes it come into my head. Oh, yeah, you know, it's a sort of maybe one day someone will see me. I think, yeah, that bloke might be all right to do this. And then I would be given a little chance or something, but it didn't happen. But that's okay because I'm here doing my thing. That's the wonderful thing about the internet. As I said many times before, if you want to do something, you haven't got to go begging to the BBC or anyone else anymore. It's like musicians. If you're a little bit of a singer, you know, you've written perhaps a song or something out. I mean, ideally, you would go to Sony Records and here's my song, and well, no, we don't really like that. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Or it doesn't matter. You just go on the internet and put it out there. That's it. A lot of people seem to think incorrectly that an artist, whether it would be a singer or a musician, someone doing YouTube, we're all artists in some form or another. An artist is on the telly, you know, in a blockbuster film. An artist is also sat in a corner of a tiny little local pub doing a DJ set. We are all artists of some form or another. But most of us don't come into it to make loads of money. That's the last thing on our mind. Last thing on your mind. We are creative. We want to create something. And if money comes in at the end of it, then all well and good. But that's not the be-all and end-all of it for someone who really wants to do this. There are people that come in it just to make money. Most of them fail. Or there are like producers and people that might look at someone, God, they're really good looking. You know, so that's me out the window straight away. You know what I mean? You know, oh, they're really good looking, they'd be good for that, and they can push them in to make a lot of money. But you've got to be very lucky to get that. Very lucky. If you're just doing it on talent alone, well, you know, you might be lucky. There's a lot of luck. Right place at right time. I've always said that. Right place at right time. You know, and then sometimes you get a chance and you muck it up. It's just how it is. So no, the last thing, certainly when I've started DJing, the last thing on my mind was, oh, wow, look how much money I can make here. It wasn't like that. Oh, what it was, oh, look, I can go and play my music out there and people will like what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what it was to me. That's all, always was. And as luck would have it, I started getting very busy with the DJing, and the money did come rolling in for many, many years. Not now. But that's okay. You know, I was always careful with it. I didn't waste it. You know, it rolled in, you know, for years, actually. All right. So, no, Peter, I'm probably the wrong person for something like that, okay? But thank you for your comment there. Let me just scroll down. Dan Woodhouse is there. Good evening to Dan Woodhouse. Evening, Dan Woodhouse. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just... sorry, I've jumped down too far down this list. There's Lily Shambles. She said, I thought I had taught you over the years. It's Hove, actually. Lily Shambles, also known as Fagash Leo. All right, Chris. When she rings me up, which is rare. Sometimes Lily Shambles rings me up. That's same person, Fag Ashley. She rings me. You can't hear what she's saying through the coughing going on, dear. You know. I heard once there were, and there was a sudden thud. And it was an actual lung that had come out of her mouth and ended up on the floor. And she had to stick it back in place, didn't you, my love? You'll have to watch that film if you've got Netflix, Lily. Repo Men. Yeah, you could get a new lung there, my love. Get a new lung, but you've got to keep up the payments. Otherwise, they come and collect it. It's a good film. Netflix. All right. John, where are we? Oh, Mark Jones. Another tip, Mark. Another tip, dear. 79. You've sent me 2 tips today. That's very kind of. It's very generous of you, Mark. Have you won the lottery? Da, 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 da. No, not won the lottery. Oh, well. Maybe next week. Keep buying the ticket, darling. Keep buying the ticket. Gary Ross went to buy an air fryer in Argos last week. Cheapest was about £65. No, I've seen them for 50 quid. Amazon. Try Amazon, Gary. I'm going to look for you now. 1 moment, please. Amazon. Tower. Tower seems to be a fairly good mate. Tower air fryer. 58 pounds there. Yeah. That's 4.3 litres, 58 pounds. See, I don't know what that is. 4.3 litres. I mean, how big is that? I don't know. When you look at this, it looks like a tiny little drawer. How many chips can you get in that, love? I do like to have half a packet of chips. Huh? Not like you go to some of those restaurants where those little fit, they poke about 3 chips. There you go, mate. Where's the rest of them? Half a bag of chips I'd want. There's another one here, 2.2 litres, £45. They're all different prices, mate. Oh, here we are. 1.5 litres, £33. Of course, there's you and Leslie, so you would need a larger one, but I don't know how large. I said on my radio show the other morning that I was going to go into Curry's. I wouldn't buy anything in there, mind. The service is abysmal in there. Awful. That being said, my mate went in one today with his mum because she wanted a new laptop, right? It turns out that she just couldn't work the old one properly. And she was in Curry's and he said, well, what do you use it for? She said, well, I've got an old one and it doesn't really work. Well, what do you do with it? I scan photos and put them on, but I can't find them. And it turns out that she just basically didn't know where they were getting saved to. Now, I was like this years ago because people always tell you, yeah, hit the save button and it'll save it to your hard drive, right? So you do that, but no one tells you where it saved it to. And you're thinking, right, okay, so I've done that. Well, where is it? And they say to you, well, where did you save it to? I don't know. No one tells you that, right? So completely understandable that would happen to her. Well, she thought the laptop was broken. And to give him his due, the bloke in Curry's told them, you don't need a new laptop. All you need is someone to sit down and show you what's what. And my mate, he'd gone into Curry's with her, not really knowing this. She just said her laptop was broken. Not her fault, you know. I'm not trying to piss or anything. You just don't know these things when you first get a computer, especially like the older population, even older than me, you know, in their sort of 70s now. They don't all know how to work. It's like them people, you know, when you're on Facebook in various Facebook groups and someone might ask a question. And it might be a very, very basic question like, you know, I don't know, I've got a caravan. Can you tell me how would I clean the windows in that? And some of the comments on there, people try to be funny. Some people try to be funny, and some people belittle the person that is asking the question. And you just look at these people and you think, arseholes. You know, that's what you think. When you see these people answering a perfectly normal question, just because they know the answer, right, doesn't mean that you need to berate the person asking the question. Something as simple as, I don't know, you know. And then there are very reasonable questions on some of those caravan boys. I want to put a picture up. How would you recommend I do that? Well, one thing you don't want to do is start banging nails in the wall. Because you might go through the other side of the caravan very bad to damage both skins like that. But the person doesn't know that. That's why they ask the question. So why people think the need to comment all the time? Stupid comments. I get it sometimes on my Facebook. I might put something on there and you get some stupid comment. You'll know the ones that I think are really stupid. I don't dislike them. I think, what a stupid thing to say. Or they try to be funny. They'll be the ones that I don't like. So if you've ever put a comment on there and I haven't liked it, I'll leave that with you. All right? Oh, dear. Where did we get to in that chat box? Hang on a minute. So thank you, Mark Jones, for another 79 pence. Oh, I'm rich tonight, my loves. Rich tonight. Dan says, does an air fryer save on gas from the hob as well? Well, of course it does, because it's not gas, is it? It's electric. It's electric. It's electric. You basically, Dan, I don't know how you are. Doesn't the government pay your electric bill? How does that work? Are you sort of, what's the word? Are you sort of capped off at the maximum you can pay? Or if you're trying to save money and you use the oven a lot, Martin will tell you this, my brother and my sister, and also other people. I've heard this on the radio now, that they use much less electricity because they cook faster. So you might want to try one of those air fryers. If you get it on Amazon, of course. You know, I don't know if you buy stuff for Amazon, Dan. If you get it off of Amazon and you think, oh no, this is not for me, you just send it back. You don't need a reason. You just send it back. It's as easy as that. All right, there. Gary had one a few years ago. £28 he had his. Mick's got a Tower air fryer. They're all buying them now. Amazon is the cheapest for air fryers. Says built in Scotland, Mac. Thank you. It's PJ Macker. Good evening to you. PJ is in the house. PJ, I've got a double room. I'm going on a little holiday in December, and there's no one in that room. And not only that, PJ, not only that, your best friend will be there, i.e. my nephew. I don't mind you having a little spare bed in my room. Huh? Is that sounding good to you? John got one 2 years ago in the Philippines, so John's way ahead of everyone else. There we are. Look at that. Mick, £160. Yeah, but that don't mean you've been ripped off, Mick. You probably got a really good one. You know, you pay what you get for. If you've spent £160, then it's a really good one, isn't it? Must be. There you go. Don't worry about that. Gary says ours only lasted about 7 months. Oh, really? Oh, gosh. What went wrong with that then? John's blew up. Mick takes esomeprazole, 40 milligrams. They are great. I'm on the 20 milligram one, Mick, and I'm now down to every 2 days instead of every day. Okay, I'm going to go to 3 days soon and see how that goes. So obviously, the less you take, the better. Hello to Coolborn. Good evening, Coolborn. Hello to you. All right. And Mick's quite right. Don't buy cheap. You'll buy twice there. Pauline Ashford says, I see you up to 740 on TikTok. Am I? Do you know, I haven't looked. What am I on TikTok now? We're trying to get up to 1,000 followers on TikTok. And then I'll be able to do my radio show on there, you see. I can't do it on, let's see, 740. You're right. Look at that. Would you like to see my latest TikTok? Yeah, look, it's my little TikTok. Rude word coming. Here we go.
Don't start with me. You haven't got the strength. You silly bitches. You stupid bitches. Don't start with me. You haven't got the strength.
I've got another one there.
I can't believe this is happening to me. My life is over.
Look at the camera.
I'm so humiliated.
And turn to the side.
I can't believe this is happening.
That's my TikTok. You want to have a look at my TikTok? It's Chris Reardon UK on the TikTok, all right? I enjoy doing those as well. Whenever I've got time, really. Vera's there. Evening to Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Good evening to you, Vera. There's our friend, our very good friend, Ray Reynolds. Hi to Ray Reynolds. Steve, how did you get on with your water pipe? Still not done. Still not done. I don't know how far I got last week. I've been keeping you fully updated. Basically, I haven't heard from the water board. Now, she said someone would come round Monday or Tuesday last week. No one's come. And now we're another week ahead, and no one's come. I haven't heard from them or anything. She does know that my insurance still has not kicked in yet. And I think she's waiting for that to kick in before they send someone around. Happy days. Hopefully at that point, then the problem will be sorted at a very reasonable cost. I think you pay £30 excess because I've paid over £3,000 so far. They fixed one leak, another one appeared somewhere else, and they said, "Oh, it's not part of that job. That job was completed." So they wouldn't do it again. They wanted loads more money. So I said no. But 2 weeks ago, I took out the insurance when I got the first leak. I immediately took out the insurance then. So it's only got another couple of weeks to run and it will kick in. So I think they're kind of running, as a favour, they're kind of running down the clock. Because, when I told her how much I paid, she went like that. And she disappeared off the phone for about 5 or 10 minutes and then came back to me and said, "Leave it with us. We'll see what we can do. Wait till you hear from us." So that's what I'm waiting for now, Steve. Fingers crossed we'll get this sorted. I think it needs a new pipe. I really think it needs a new pipe. So that's the news there. All right. Noah says, some people... I'm sitting on my ark today. Put it on Facebook that I was on the deck sunbathing and 2,500 mosquitoes liked my post. You would enjoy the Bally Brasserie in Hove. Karaoke on Sunday 8 to 11, but the food is amazing. Check out their page on Facebook. Thank you very much. Yeah. I do occasionally go to karaoke nights. My friend does one at Zodiac on Tuesdays. His name's Carl. I've been to his a couple of times. He's all right. And Noah says some people are like those old TV sets from the 1960s. Got to slap them a few times before they get the picture. Oh, you're too right about that, mate. There's a load of them out there. A lot of them go shopping in Aldi. I've worked that out. Oh, dear me. There are times that you avoid going in Aldi. Seriously. Paul in Ashford. So bad. Wholesale brass prices have risen again this week. Now 600... I don't really know about that. It's 600 euros per megawatt hour compared to 34 euros 2 years ago. That's how much these gas prices are going up. So anything that can save money is good, right? When you turn your computer off at night, unplug the damn thing. If you've got a monitor on there, unplug that monitor because it's probably got an adapter somewhere along the line, which even if it's not on, I've told you this so many times, even if it's not on, it will be sucking electricity. And don't, it's only a couple of watts, or it's only 10 watts. Yeah, that's 10 watts an hour, so that's 240 watts a day. So what's 240 times 30? Okay, that's how much electricity you're paying for that isn't actually doing anything. Go round your house, every single room, one room at a time, and see that little clock on your microwave. That's using electric. Do you use the clock? Bet you don't. Especially if you've got the turning thing. I've got a very basic microwave. Oh, I can't be doing with those microwaves with all those buttons. Oh, my God. Push that. Ding, beep, beep, beep. No! Why do they make life so bleeding complicated? If you want to roast it, push that one. That one's for deep. No! I've got this thing. And you twist it round. That's it. Low, medium, high, high. And defrost, I think, down the other end somewhere. And you set it to that, and then you just turn the timer. Click, 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 click. Easy. Easy peasy. And it doesn't need to be on. The clock doesn't ever need to be on because they don't use the timer function and it gets switched off at it doesn't get switched off at the wall, it's on the smart plug. So I say microwave, Amazon kitchen microwave off and it cuts the power. Like in this room here, I say Amazon computers off. I say the word, right? And all the power to this room is cut. And there's nothing sucking electricity. And I got my bills down from £105 a month to 65. Thank you very much. Do it. Do it. Stop wasting electricity. And then when I get people moan about their electricity bill, and then you go around the houses and there's a little lava lamp on over there, and there's a little thing doing something over there and something else. And then when you mention it to them, oh, but we like that on. Oh, don't ask me then for your help. Don't ask me for help then. I can probably go around all your houses and say, why is that light on there? You don't need that light on. This is what we've got to think now. Unless you're happy to pay excessive bills. I make those vile people who are making an absolute fortune out of people's misery. I mean, I'm all right. I'm very lucky. I don't need to be going around turning stuff off. But my mum always says, why should they have the money? You keep it. You keep it. All right. Mark, are you opening the phone lines? No, we're not doing that anymore, Mark, I'm afraid. There's no one really calling in much anymore, and it's got to be regular for it to work. So we gave up on that one. All right. Let's see. I will help you with not seeing them, and I'm actually from Nottingham. I've invited them to come and watch. No, you haven't. Don't lie to me. Stephen Dagenham, I've noticed that the price of petrol has dropped in my area. Yes, indeed, as it has here. Here in Bracknell, we suffer here because we're the road between the M3 and the M4. So they all come through it to get from one motorway to the other, right? And it's just a bit of a nightmare. All our petrol is dear. The cheapest one is generally Sainsbury's. They're on 171 at the moment. I've gone to London and seen cheaper petrol there at a BP garage. There's one in Hammersmith. I think I saw 169 the other day. Up in at the Luxury Waterside Media Centre in Lincolnshire, near where my sister lives, I've seen JJ's, which is just on the bridge, on the Kirkstead Bridge, just before it, on the Woodall Spa side. He's cheap. The last time I filled up there, it was 164.9. That was 3 weeks ago. So, you've got to do your sums. Why should they have all your money? Drive around if you can. Mark, have you just sent me another 79 pence? What's wrong with you today, Mark? You're the only one, so thanks ever so much, darling. Thank you very much, darling, all right? Mick gets diesel 177.9, which seems reasonable, I suppose. Thank you. Derek Martin has a microwave like that too. Those ones where the buttons are complicated. They are. Why do you want to read instructions? Just turn a little thing and 3 minutes, bing, and then you just touch it. Is it hot? No, put it back in. God, washing machines are the same, aren't they? Always remember my sister, and she was able to operate it, had this really complicated washing machine once. I can't remember the brand of it now. Oh, I couldn't work this thing out. Mine, again, I've got a couple of dials on there, It's got temperature, 40, 60, 90. It's like dials like that. You push the button and it just starts. How easy is that? They make things complicated. I think they do it so that they go wrong, and then you have to employ someone from that same company to actually come round and fix the damn thing, don't they? Just a minute. Let me just cough. Yes. Hello to Gar L. When's your new car arriving, Chris? Well, they've told me by the end of the month. It's basically the same car as I've got now, which is now over 3 years old. So I'm hoping that does come this month, all right? Mark Jones, that's all the money I've earned off TikTok in the last 2 weeks. Do you earn money off TikTok? Oh, I don't. Wow, how do you do that? You must be selling something. You're not selling your wares, are you, Mark? You're a little bit old to be doing that now, aren't you, my love? Eh? Selling your wares on TikTok. As I say, I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers. It's hard. It's actually, unless you're young and pretty, it's quite hard to get to 1,000 followers. But we're getting there. We're on, as I say, 740 now, which is 300 more than it was about a month ago. So I think I'll get there eventually, and I'll be able to do my radio show on there, as well as as well as on Reach on Air, but not for this. Don't need to do this on TikTok as well, because we'll never get any show done. It'd just all be reading out messages. I'm not a fan of these channels that keep telling you to tap the screen and send gifts and all that. I mean, I just don't get it, really. I mean, if you entertain me, if you give me something to think about sending you a gift, then I might consider something like that, I suppose. But please send a gift. Please send. If you send me a gift, I'll mention you. I mean, how sad is that? I just don't get it. There's no entertainment there. Tap and send arts and things like that. Mark says you only need 800 to go live. Now, I'd heard that, Mark. But when I mentioned that on this show, on this worldwide famous show with millions of viewers all over the world, when I mentioned this the other week, people were telling me you still need 1,000. Anyway, we'll see. If that's the case, then I've only got like 80 to go, haven't I? Is it 80 or 60 to go? I can't do maths. I've got E for maths. E for useless. Gang, OE. Oh, look, get more tips now. OE has sent me a tip. Thank you very much. Look, £2.49. Thank you. Thank you. It's always nice, very nice to get a tip. Not for the money, but because you appreciate what I've done. And I do appreciate that. I really do appreciate when someone sends a little tip like that. And I mean, I like to think to myself, well, I've obviously done something that they like, that I've done something for the tip. Do you see what I mean? And going back onto TikTok, where you are there, Mark, you know, just to, keep sending. What for? What for? What have you done to make me click that heart? What entertainment have you done? Anyway, there we are. Thank you, OE. All right, can we read some of a little... We haven't got onto anything yet, have we? Have you ever tried to get something repaired in your council house? Vera has sent a little message in this week. And then I'll check the emails for you after this, all right? Vera says, I have a question for your audience. Attention, please. Attention, s'il vous plaît. Oh, it's like me. Do you remember Jean Saint-Frontier, like the international version of It's a Knockout? Jean Saint-Frontier. I remember the music. Da 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 da. Jean Saint-Frontier. I used to love that. Friday nights it was on BBC One, wasn't it? Eh? I used to absolutely love that. And I used to go, attention, trois, deux, un, and then bloody whistle. Woo! I got whistle here. This is my dad's football whistle. Don't tell my sister, she'll want this. Attention, trois, deux, un. Bit like that, yeah. Anyway, Vera says, I have a question for your audience. Is there still one here? I don't know. Most of them have gone by now. They're bored with me. Have you ever been on the phone trying to get through to the council or anywhere else to get something repaired in your home and almost smashed your mobile phone in anger? Now, it's a bit worrying, really. I think we're seeing another side of Vera here, which, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit frightened. I didn't know she was like this. Vera, who tirelessly researches things in the morning for the Reach on Air Chris Reardon show, Monday to Friday, 9 till 10 o'clock on reachonair.com. She tirelessly researches while the programme is live. But I never knew she had a angry side. I'm a little bit scared now. I'm thinking, do I need to stop this friendship before it gets... Because I don't want to upset her. Who knows what will happen? She's already talking about smashing her mobile phone. Well, I hope it's not an iPhone, expensive iPhone, my love. Vera says, believe me, I almost smashed my phone today. See, another example of her anger. She can't cope. She's a woman living on the edge, boys and girls. A woman living on the edge. She says, I had an appointment on Monday between 8 and 1 o'clock for someone to fix or replace my shower. She's waited 2 weeks for this appointment, and guess what? No one turns up. Welcome to my world, Vera. There can't be anyone here who's not made an appointment for something and they haven't turned up. Plumbers are the worst. They are the worst. I remember, what was it? I had something repaired. I can't remember. And I had 3 people come. Never heard from them again. What's all that about? They don't want the job, you see. Don't want the job. I actually use an excellent plumbing company now. Unfortunately, they don't do guttering. I need my guttering done on one side of the house. There's cracks and things in it and it's leaking. So I've got to get that done next. But they don't do that. But generally, Bracknell Plumbing is my go-to company for repairing stuff. And they come round and they do it. It's all done. Good workman. Anyway, she said I'd waited 2 weeks for this appointment and guess what? No one turned up. So I called them. After going through all the options, oh God, yeah. Pressing buttons, etc. on my phone and listening to repeated message on how you could do it all on the website. 12 minutes I waited until I heard what sounded like someone had finally picked up the phone, only to be cut off. Oh, God. I rang them twice, the same thing. I then tried the so-called website, only to be told to ring the number I just rang. Yeah, that's right. It's so frustrating, Vera. My mobile was in my hand, ready to be launched across the room. I must get one of those soft stress ball things next time, and I'll throw that instead. I know what you mean. I've had exactly the same with the doctor again. This time, trying to respond to a text message to book a flu appointment. Okay. Please book a flu appointment on the online appointment system. This was Friday I got the text. So I left it a couple of days. So Monday, I thought I'd do it Monday. No, Sunday night. I come up here Sunday night and I started. First of all, I went on Patients Access looking for this book a flu vaccination button. Like, nowhere to be found. The old appointments thing on there doesn't work either. You can't book an appointment. So then I went on the doctor's website itself. Couldn't find anything about flu appointments there. And you're kind of, why have you sent me a text telling me to book an appointment online only to go on your various different websites to find that you can't do it? And in the end, I rang up on Monday morning. Literally, it was about 20 past 8, and I thought, well, I'll ring it while I'm getting my show ready, because there's bound to be a bit of a wait. And ring, 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 ring. Press option 1, press option 2. Ring, ring. Thank you. You are connected to medical centre. You are 38th in the queue. And I thought, oh, you're joking. But to be fair, that 38th got to 0 in half an hour. So happy days, at which point this Scottish bloke answered. I don't think he was, I'm sure he was at the surgery, not in Scotland. Anyway, and I told him my predicament. He said, oh, I don't know how to do it. I'll go and ask someone. And he booked it there and then on the telephone. Well, but you went through all that frustration first. None of this bullshit works. None of it works. When you ring up these banks and people like that, and how many times have you been, and then they put you on hold, and then it goes click, and you're cut off. That happened when I was talking to the Scottish bloke. But, to be fair to him, he rang me back. God, I nearly fell on the floor in surprise. Oh, it's just so annoying. So annoying. This happened to anyone else, by the way? Tell us your stories. Send us a text or in the chat box and I'll read it out, okay? 07451287337. This is Vera in her shower, so it's still not fixed. Vera, you're not one of those smelly people that now goes around Audi because you can't have a shower, are you? Where are you washing? I bet you got... Are you doing it in the sink? Are you having to do it in the sink? Can you still get in the sink like you did when you was a baby? My mum used to do that. She used to put me and my sister in the sink. I don't think I'll get in there now. Won't even get my fat ass in that sink, I tell you. Vera says it also happened when I worked for the BBC. I had to call a film company in America. Again, pressing numbers left, right, and centre, only for the recorded message telling me that if I know the name of the person and the extension, type it in. How many people know that extension number? I bet that never happens. And you're quite right. Whenever you ring one of these things, if you know the name of the person or the extension number, key it in now. Well, how do you key a name in? Chris. No one knows the extension number. I looked at my phone on my desk and I thought, how? Yes, the telephone had letters around the numbers. It was not humanely possible to do this. No, I don't think it is. It's just a joke, isn't it? Absolute joke. Oh my God, I've just opened my American Express online balance. I wish I hadn't seen that. One of those things. Anyone else got a story like that? Vera at the moment is using her bird bath. I had one of those. My mate bought me one for Christmas. It was like this glass thing, you know. It was like a metal thing underneath like that. And you just put this. It was made of some sort of glass type material on top there. I had it a few years, and then one year the water froze in it. And then when I looked at it again, it had all obviously the water has expanded, and it was laying on the floor in pieces. Poor birds can't even have a bath anymore, can they? Never mind. Let's just scroll up there, please. 1 second there, my love. There's Gary Ross. Gary Ross has sent a £4 tip. Thank you, Gary. There's no phone. I'm sorry, Gary. There's no phone calls coming in here. Not at the moment. We're resting that at the moment. We're resting the whole phone thing at the moment. All right. Peter Wright. I used to love that show as well, Chris. Yeah. Which one was that, Peter? Oh, yours at Jean Saint Frontier. It's a knockout. Stuart Hall, of course, he turned out to be a bit of a dodgy character, didn't he? Stuart Hall, but we loved him when he was on the telly in the 1970s. We didn't know about all these people. Jimmy Savile. Who's the other one now? Rolf Harris. How could you ever look at him and think he's a pedo? But he was. We never knew. It was a bit of a hard pill to swallow when these names came out. I tell you that now. Jimmy Savile, all watching him on the telly. We never thought anything. Same with Rolf Harris. Stuart Hall. We love these people on the tellies. Turns out they're all dodgy characters. I do feel like some of my childhood has been robbed by these people lying and that. But there you go. What can you do? Yeah. So no phone calls at the moment, Gary. We're really not doing phone calls at the moment. All right there. Jeff is there. Hello to Jeff. Can you remember the Royal It's a Knockout? Yes. Oh, Linda and I went. I remember that. Yes, I do remember, Jeff. We used to love the It's a Knockout programme. Loved it. Hello to Weird City. Thank you, Weird City. And Weird City has sent a tip as well tonight. Gosh. Has someone won the lottery and you're all sharing it around? It's very kind of you. Very kind to be sending little tips and things like that tonight. Thank you very much, Weird City. You're very, very generous. Very generous. A whole £5. Thank you very much. There is another way to send tips if you ever want to. It's that way, okay? Excuse me, I've got itchy ear roll. And the reason you do it like that, when you send it via YouTube, and I'm not complaining, you know, anything is very kindly, gratefully received. Thank you. They do keep I think it's 30% on it. So if you send me £1, they keep. I'll get 70 pence. I think it's about that. But if you send like £1 on PayPal, I get £1. You know, it's just how it works. But whatever you do, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. There's the PayPal thing up there. John Parrish. He sent us a £2 tip as well this evening. Thank you, John. Wow, John, what's going on? It's usually £1 from you. Have you won something? Have you won something as well? Thank you very much. No one else had any experiences, any bad experiences on the phone then at all? Hey? Oh, hang on. What have I done here? I've done something wrong here. I want to mention people if they're sending tips. Is that it? Have we done everyone there? Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Vera also sent a little message. You know, we were talking about funerals the other week, weren't we? Last week we were talking about funerals, and have you ever seen or perhaps experienced something dodgy happening at a funeral? And Vera did. Hang on, where is it now? Vera. My brother's funeral was a nightmare from start to finish. They nearly dropped the coffin. You see, I don't know. If it was my mum and dad, I'd be mortified. You know. But if it was, I'm sorry, I have to say, if it was certain friends in my life, if it was a family member, no, I wouldn't find that amusing. If it was certain friends in my life who have a similar sense of humour to mine, then I'd probably laugh. I've got to be honest. But I mean, it would only be certain people. If it was someone I never knew, I had no idea. If it was like, I was out at a church somewhere and I happened to have a funeral and this person dropped out, I'd probably find that very amusing. I'm sorry, I would. And certain friends in my life, if they fell out of a coffin, I'd find that amusing as well. But if it was like a member of family who I loved dearly, 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 then no, I wouldn't find that amusing, Anyway, Vera says they nearly dropped the coffin. My brother's ex-wife had a massive argument with his girlfriend and banned her from the funeral. My nephew got involved, followed by more of his ex's family, and my brother's army mates tried to break it up. Oh, how awful. You do see rows at funerals and marriages as well, actually. You can see terrible rows at funerals. Sad, really, isn't it, that would happen like that. And another tip from Paul Adamson. Thank you, Paul. Sending on the PayPal. Thank you, Paul. Oh, I've done all right tonight, and I've got about 15 quid tonight. Happy days. I'll be able to retire. Oh, I nearly have. I'm not looking forward to retirement. I'll be bored to tears. Absolutely bored to tears. I mean, there's only so many of these you can do in a day, Mind you, I used to do one every morning, didn't I? Do you remember? We used to do this every morning. Do you know that's 2 years ago? That's over 2 years ago we were doing the morning chat shows. Over 2 years ago. Oh, look, Liam and all. Thank you, Liam, for your pounds. Liam and all sent a little PayPal. Thank you, Liam. Cars, is anyone adding these up? John Parrish likes to do that. He likes to add everything up, don't you, Ad? John Parrish can tell you to the nearest penny how much he's given me in all his time. And even more good news today. Look what I found today. This 20p piece now. It's a bit rancid. I don't know if they're going to accept it. I was so happy when I found that this morning. Never walk across a coin. It was just outside Aldi. And talking of Aldi, which we mentioned here already, can I recommend something that I discovered there last night? Look. Notice that the packet is now empty. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned, Shania. There were 6 wagon wheels in here yesterday when I bought them. Round about this time, there are now none. And they are delicious. Orange wagon wheels. Don't do them in Sainsbury's. Vera's already checked. They don't do them in Sainsbury's. Orange wagon wheels in Aldi now. So how many do we want to look how many calories? I've had 6 of these per wheel. 159. Oh, that's not as much as I thought it would be. So there's 159 calories in each wheel. It says per serving, one wheel, 159 calories. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 calories in wagon wheels I've had. Thank you very much. Highly recommended and very, very delicious. Weird City says, I love the morning show. 2 years has flown. It certainly has. 2 years ago we stopped doing that morning show. Can you believe that? I do love doing my radio show, I've got to tell you. Put the 20p in a small glass of Coke. It will clean it up, Chris. Oh, I don't have anything like that here, Gary. I didn't know you did anything like Coke, my love. You've disappointed me. Seriously, I don't have fizzy drinks here at all. I might drop it in my mate's one. Will he notice? Weird City, Sainsbury's have stopped dating dating the fruit. So I won't shop there anymore. Have they? Yeah, there's a few people done that actually. There's a few. I think Waitrose have stopped it, and Morrison's they've stopped putting dates on certain things, haven't they? Yeah. Fagash Lil. Hello, Chris. Hello, Chris. How are you? Fagash Lil says, although I was meant to be short when Son called me. Hang on a minute. What's there we go. Didn't go to my other half's funeral for various reasons. Although it was meant to be short when my son called me 15 minutes later. I asked if they dropped him. It must have been a cremation, was it? Cremation job, was it? They're awful. In and out. In and out in 15 minutes. I was talking to Father Danny about that. Cremations. And he said it's when you think about a cremation, it's a really violent way to go, isn't it? Eh? To have all these flames suddenly fired at you. Nah, not for me. Shania says naughty. Sorry, Shania. Bless me, Shania. I have sinned. It has been 50 years since my last confession. Do you know what, Shania? Do you know what I looked at? I looked for Christmas. I looked at Rome. I looked at Rome for Christmas. I thought, oh, perhaps I'd like to go. I would like to go to the Vatican for midnight mass. How fabulous would that be? Right? So I went on the Vatican website, and it's tickets for that. No charge, of course, because we're all there praying. But it's tickets for that. And here's the thing, because I checked this. I actually checked this afternoon, believe it or not. And you apply for tickets. You send in a letter, I think. I think it's by, I can't remember if it's by post or whatever. Anyway, so you do that 4 or 5 days before the Christmas Eve service. You have to go to the Vatican in person, and you either get the tickets or a letter telling you that you've been unsuccessful. Well, I mean, you imagine going all that way over to Italy to do, and then you get turned down at the last minute. Very disappointing. Mind you, you could still go to church the next day. I suppose it would be very busy on Christmas morning in the Vatican, wouldn't it? You could still do that, but just a little idea I had in my head there. Alrighty, I've told you about the film 13 Lives and the doctor's appointment. I told you about the flu thing that I've done. I mean, I have now booked a flu appointment for September the 24th. 24th of September, that is still. That's how far ahead they do that. I wonder why they do it so far ahead. Is it to decide how many flu things that they've got to order? I know some of you probably don't do the whole vaccination thing, but yeah, interesting, isn't it? Mandy says they did drop my granddad's coffin at his funeral. Did you laugh, Mandy? Oh, you are naughty. You see, I if I was dead, but I could see myself at my funeral, and they dropped it, I'd piss myself. I would wet my knickers. I would. I'd wet my knickers if I saw them drop my own coffin. I think Father Danny would laugh as well, to be honest, should I? Oh dear. Gary used to clean his gold chain and rings up using Coca-Cola in a cup. Mick says put it in vinegar. I have got vinegar, so I could put it in vinegar. We can't be wasting 20 pence, dear. Shall we try it now? Shall I go and get some vinegar? Aye. Shania says no place like home for Christmas, although the Vatican would be wonderful. Well, of course, Christmas and more importantly, Good Friday. I mean, how wonderful to go somewhere like the Vatican for the Good Friday and, of course, the Easter services. There's, it's three, isn't it? It's three, isn't it? It's Christmas, Good Friday, and Easter. They're the three that you'd want to do. Which one? I think Christmas would be the one night. If you had to choose. No, if I had to choose, it'd be Good Friday. I find that a very powerful service, Good Friday, don't you? I get quite, sad, very sad. Shania says, I'm always so busy at big feasts in the parish, so it wouldn't be possible. Yeah, well, maybe you can do it one day, Shania. Put that on your list. Put that on your list. Primark. Now, do you like this idea? I'm not quite sure what they mean by this. It appeared in The Sun today. Primark has announced a major shake-up to its stores, giving shoppers the chance to buy vintage clothing. Now, I don't know what they mean by this. Do they mean second-hand clothing? What do you reckon? Because you may remember back in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s, even if you can go back that far, jumble sales. People used to do jumble sales, whether it be the Scouts or the Guides, the Boys Brigade, the church. Everyone used to do jumble sales, and you had, over time you outgrew clothes or you didn't want them anymore. You never chucked them away. You sent them all to the local jumble sale. You'd have a big hall or small hall, all these tables. There would be a sort of musty smell as you walked in, but you kind of accepted that. That was all right. And you go in, and you'd rifle through everyone's old clothes. Well, you buy a few dirt cheap, jumpers for like 5 pence or something like that. You take them home, you give them a good wash. There you go. New set of clothes, except they're not brand new. And they do say that Primark killed jumble sales because now you can go and get that same item new, perhaps, and the quality's okay in Primark. I mean, it's not Ralph Lauren, I know, but I bought a lovely white shirt from there for £10 that I went to my mate. Well, 2 weddings I've been to in that now. No, not 2 weddings. A christening. Who was that now? Baby Frank's christening, Jimmy's little boy. And the wedding I went to a couple of weeks ago, Adam and Royston's wedding. £10 shirt from Primark. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. And they do say Primark killed jumble sales. But that means there's all these clothes now, old clothes. People just chuck them in the bin. It's a terrible waste. You know what I'm like for wasting stuff? Terrible waste. I try not to waste anything. Even, look, there's an old envelope here. Right? That's my bit of scrap paper for today. No need to get a piece of paper out of my ream of paper down there. Backs of envelopes, stuff like that. Bingo tickets. Another back of envelope here, big envelope there. Look. Use it again, dear. Don't waste anything. Especially not water. Honestly, the water, I'll never get over that, how much water escaped out of my pipe. It's still doing it now, although not so much. Anyway, yes, Primark says it's going to be selling vintage clothing. Now, I don't know if it means second-hand clothing. It says the retailer has partnered with the vintage wholesale company to launch a clothing concession selling brands like Nike, Dr. Martens and Levi. Now, Dr. Martens, got to tell you, those boots are expensive. What are they charging for those now? Let's have a look. Let's have a look on the Amazon. Why does that say Father Martin? Hang on. Dr. Martin's Men's. Dr. Martin's Men's. So there we go. Oof, £156 for the tall boots. How much for the walking boots? £112. £188. Gosh, £113. £115. Oh, there we go. That's what. £122. They're the slightly shorter. The thing that goes up your heel. They're the ones I've got. £100 they are now. They're £100 for a pair of Dr. Martin boots. It's a lot. I will say that I've got a pair, which I bought some years ago. They last forever. They're very, very high quality, and you won't get wet feet. Nothing worse than wet feet is there. If you've been out in the rain in trainers, you'll know exactly what I mean. Trainers are anything but waterproof, especially the cheap ones that I buy. £12, off Amazon, including delivery. Thank you very much. Which reminds me, I might order another pair. I think I need to order another pair. All those trainers are used. Even the Ralph Lauren ones let in water very quickly as well. Slight bit of water, wet feet. Not fun. I come back from the swimming pool. I had trench foot by the time I got back. My feet were so wet. Not in Dr. Martens. Very high quality, but you've got to pay for that. £100. I told you. £150. Nothing wrong with buying second-hand clothes, mate. Don't be so far up your own arse that you won't buy second-hand clothes or shoes. Maybe not underwear. Mind you, some people are into that, aren't they? I don't know. Is what's his name still with us? Sorry. Mark. Are you still with us, Mark? There's a bloke on TikTok sells his underwear, isn't there? Very odd. But yes, Primark says the range. Primark has partnered with vintage wholesale companies to launch a clothing concession sale selling brands like Nike, Dr. Martens and Levi's. Now, I'm not sure if this means they're second-hand or they are items that have now gone out of fashion and then they're selling them through there. Do you see what I mean? Because that's why you go to the outlet stores. I have been to one, I haven't been for some years now, but Bicester in Oxfordshire. And look, I love, if I go to America on holiday, part of my holiday, I will arrange a trip to an outlet centre where they have all the Ralph Lauren, all this, that and the other, and it's a lot cheaper than it would be, say, in somewhere like Macy's. Right, it's certainly cheaper than it is over here. It says the range is available to buy now in Primark's Birmingham store and also launch in Manchester in the coming weeks. So just the 2 stores at the moment. Shoppers have taken to social media to share their thoughts. One person says, I can't wait to go have a look. Another said, this is a brilliant step forward for the environment. Now, if she's saying that, it sounds to me like this is second-hand stuff. Right? A spokesman for Primark said it's the first time customers will be able to shop branded and non-branded vintage under one roof. See, it doesn't say that it's second-hand stuff, and I'm not sure it is. Someone there said, we want to see clothes loved for longer and kept in circulation. Now, that does sound like it's second-hand, doesn't it? We've got big plans within our own business to give clothes a longer life, and we're thrilled to be supporting an independent business who is working to do this. I think this is fantastic. And, of course, good for the shop as well. You know, they can sell something twice. Of course, you know, the first time maybe 10 quid, the second time, I don't know, 4 quid, 3 quid maybe. But it doesn't matter. It's good for them as well, because they're now selling something again. Presumably they wash it first. I think this is a fantastic idea. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? I shall certainly go in there, but not here at the moment. Its commitment is part of a 10-year sustainability strategy that will also include paying workers in their supply chain a living wage and halving carbon emissions. They're going to make, over the next year, all men's, women's and children's basic T-shirts will be made with sustainably sourced cotton. I think it's great. Great news. Will you be buying? Are you okay buying second-hand stuff? Some people are a bit funny about it, aren't they? They won't, or not having anything second-hand. And especially people with babies. I think a lot of people with babies and that, they were, oh, I'm not having it. It's all got to be new. No, well, why does it have to be new? If it's washed properly, it's as good as new, isn't it? Right? So much waste going on. Pauline Ashford says you should see the price of a Fred Perry shirt these days. Go on, how much is that then? How much is that? Pauline Ashford has bought a big water butt. Now, I've got 2 of those. Funnily enough, I did DIY the other day. DIY, Chris is in the house. 2 lots of DIY I did, Paul. First of all, there's a bit of a paint mark on my car, and I got down on my little store and I rub with a T-cut. Couldn't get it out, though. And I didn't have much patience either. You see, I've got no patience with this stuff. Maybe if I'd have sat there a bit longer. Is 3 minutes long enough? I bought this T-cut in a tube. I rubbing away at this thing. I thought, oh, this ain't happening. And I'd already also read on the tube that you've got to be careful that you don't go over the good paint because it makes it all dull. So I'm kind of, it's like a thin bit of blue paint on there, which someone's obviously pulled out and gone along the car. So I'm just, and it's about that long. And I'm rubbing away at the side. It's not going. Oh, I can't be bothered. I put the top back on the tube and put it in the drawer. So that didn't work. But I successfully repaired one of my water butts. Thank you very much. Yes. What had happened there? You know the tap that comes out the bottom, Paul, right? It kept dripping. I hadn't noticed, but the water butt was full, and I kept going, well, where's it? It's all wet round the end here. And I noticed there was a tiny little bead of water underneath the tap. And I thought, oh, that's okay. It's only a little bit. Well, within a few days, that water butt was empty. So I pulled off the pipe. I've got 2 water butts next to each other. So down pipe coming out of that into one, and then a pipe from that one into the other one, right? And sometimes they tip forward a bit, and I have to put another brick underneath. This whole place is held up with sellotape, Huh? It is. Right? So I pulled off the pipe, tipped it upside down. There was all sorts of crap in the bottom of it. You need to hose those out once a year. So I kind of held it upside down, tipped all the crap out, dead leaves and things, and got the hose, and while it was upside down, hosed it out and all the stuff come out, tipped it upside down, let it dry. But to get to that tap, and it needed to be screwed a bit, right? You got to climb into this thing because it's right down the bottom of the water butt, as you probably know. It stinks in there. Anyway, I thought I'll actually take it apart because my ever powerful brain told me that there might be a bit of dirt underneath the rubber bit. So if that's there, screwing it might not sort it. So I actually took the thing apart, then brought it in. There you had the tap, the screw thing, and this rubber ring thing. And I took that out and washed it. And indeed, there was a bit of dirt under there, a couple of grains of dirt. Did all that, nice and clean, put it back, tightened it up really hard. That was hard because the thing is so big, you can't get one arm in to hold that and the other arm to turn it back. You need 2 people, really, but I'd managed it somehow, and it's really tight, and I put some water in it, and it doesn't leak anymore. Thank you very much. DIY Chris. Anything else you want me to do? Anyone got a problem with the roof? No? Little hole in the wall you want me to come round and repair? Very reasonable rates. Very reasonable. No call-out charge. Thank you very much, Paul. All right. So, yes, Paul's got a big water butt. It had to be delivered Friday. 1,300 litres. Problem is I didn't check the width and it's too big to go through the gate. Going to have to lift it over the wall. Dear me. Actually, my water tank in the loft, a couple of weeks ago I had Bracknell Plumbing come out because water kept coming out of the pipe out the front. I can't be doing with any of that. Great big blooming water. If I muck that up, can you just imagine that? If it collapsed or something, the water everywhere. So anyway, I had Bracknell Plumbing come round, and I went up into the loft before he came, to turn the light on and get ready for him. And I was moving the jacket. It's got a big jacket around it. It's not particularly thick, like foam. The only thing is, every time I move this jacket, stuff come out like foam, but it just turned to powder. It's that old. So I thought, so the bloke come and I said, that water jacket's a bit old. Do you think that needs replacing? I said, if I don't replace that, will the tank freeze? And he said, probably not, actually. He said, no, it probably won't. But he said, I can quote you for one if you want. So they've quoted me. I think the part is about £25. And that gives me a water tank cover. So I've ordered one, and they're coming to do that on Tuesday, I think, between 11 and 1. So that'll get done. It's important to try and keep your house, sorted. I mean, internally, it's a bit old-fashioned in here, but I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. But the, main things, you must keep your house not up to date necessarily, but up to scratch. Because you don't want to leak or anything like that. Terrible damage you can do. Paul says those Fred Perry t-shirts, £70 each. Are they really? I bet you can get one on eBay. Hang on. Have you looked on eBay, mate? Fred Perry t-shirt. Get a second-hand one on eBay. Hang on. Oh, that hasn't gone in, has it? Let's have a look. Fred Perry t-shirt. There we are. £9. Thank you very much. Green cotton one there. Do you want one with a collar? With a collar? They're just those ones without collars. Oh, there's one with a collar. Oh, it's grey. $4.99. Extra large, black, excellent condition. $4.99. There you are. Looks all right. Does look a bit used, but that's okay, isn't it? Oh, it's a blue one. £2.98. Here. Shall I order it and see what it's like? That's a large. Is that going to be big enough for my fatness? Oh, submit bid. Oh, $2.98. Oh, I like the yellow one. Oh, £19. Too expensive. Buy it now. There's a yellow one. No, that's Sergio. Oh, blimey, I haven't seen those for years. Sergio Tashini, I think it is. Fred Perry, Ralph Lauren polo t-shirt, tops, $18.99. Nah, they're not. I bet they ain't. I bet they ain't Ralph Lauren, mate. They're those Skegness copies, aren't they? Oh, someone sent us another tip. I've got another tip here. £2 from Remy Sanchez. Thank you, Remy. Oh, we are rich tonight. You're very, very kind tonight. Very kind. You've been very, very kind tonight. Thank you very much for keeping this aging DJ happy. 60 next year, dear. 60. I know. My sister was just 57. That's what the Abba thing is tomorrow. That's her birthday present. And I'm tagging along there as well, so very much looking forward to that. Fagash Lil, beauty of being housebound is that you get drugs at home. Downside is that they just randomly turn up at your door. I wish someone would randomly turn up at this door, Fagash Lil. There's someone's dad down the road that I quite fancy. He's about 38. He's got all broken teeth. I really fancy him. I don't know what it is about him. He's got something. He's always out there fixing cars and all his kids are running around. I'm just waiting for that knock on the door. I keep leaving it open, but he doesn't arrive. Don't know why. Vera. Use envelopes to make notes. Yeah, use everything as much as you can. Don't waste anything, especially not food. Especially not food. Thank you very much. My sister said to me on the phone earlier. Actually, they're getting another bin, a food bin. We've had one of those for ages. Actually, what do they call it? A food bin. Little black thing it is. A food caddy. That's it. A food caddy. And the idea is if you don't eat all your food, you put it in this thing. Except I've never used mine. I never throw food away. The only time I throw food away is if it's gone off. If for some very annoying, very upsetting reason to me, I've allowed it to go out of date or something like that. It was extremely rare. That being, mind you, I had some cut up cheese the other day. You know what's that called? Cut up cheese in a bag. Grated cheese I had. Well, I was just about to use it. It was still in date, and I noticed some of it had gone green. But it was still in date. My mate says it's because you've opened the bag. So I don't know if that's true. That was from Aldi. Don't know if that's true or not. I must admit, if he hadn't he won't touch anything that's gone out of date. Won't touch it. Mind you, he bought this gold top milk the other day, last week or the week before, to make Angel Delight, because I'd tried to do it with soya milk. Well, it doesn't work, does it? I wasted 3 packets of Angel Delight. I couldn't understand why it wouldn't solidify. Well, it's because it's soya milk. It won't work. So we ended up just having strawberry milkshakes. Instead of Angel Delight. So then he went out and bought this gold top milk, which I made it. Oh, it was delicious. Oh my God, Angel Delight. 1 packet each. I think one of them was yours, Vera. Didn't you buy me an Angel Delight? It was in the cupboard. That's what made me make it. Didn't you buy me an Angel Delight for Christmas or birthday? Because they last quite a long time in the cupboard, don't they? And so I made this out of the gold top and it went in the fridge. And then another day I made another one. And so there's that much gold top left in the fridge now. Anyway, so he was in the other day. He said, can I have a cup of tea? I said, yeah. He said, I think I'll have normal milk today. He said, have you still got that gold top in the fridge? I said, I think so, yeah. And he said, oh, it's 2 days out of date. I said, well, it'd probably be all right. He said, no, I don't want it. I said, all right, leave it on the side then. Anyway, so then I made the tea and he had soya milk in the tea. And I thought I'd just check that milk, and it was 2 days out of date. I opened the top. Oh, the smell. Oh, my God. And I poured that straight down, and it was lumpy. There's nothing worse than blooming off milk. It's worse than the smell of dog poo, innit? Off milk. Oh! And sometimes, you know when it's just gone off milk? I get this a lot at Central Station because I go and help myself for a cup of tea there. Apparently, I'm the only one who ever asks for milk. So what happens? They give me a tiny little jug of milk like this from the bottle, put it in there, and I take that. So I use a bit. Then I put it in the fridge. And then the next week, a week passes, right? And I'm making tea, and the bottles of milk are kept upstairs in the kitchen. Well, I'm downstairs, and I go in the fridge, and there be a little jug of milk in there. And I pick it out, and something, yeah. And of course, if it's cold, you can't always smell it. Yeah, that's okay, right? And then you make your tea, and you pour it in, right? And if it's only just off, it doesn't lump on the top of the thing. It stirs in like normal milk until you taste it. Oh, and it's awful, awful. Gone off milk. The smell of that stuff, horrible, horrible. Steve. Have you sent me a little Steve, you haven't sent me a tip as well, have you, darling? Blimey, they're all rich today, aren't they? Hang on, why is my little thing's not working there? Thank you, Steve. You're very kind, darling. Is that you, Remy? I don't know if that's you. Is that you, Remy, Steve? Is that you? It might not have appeared yet, but I'll play it anyway if you sent one. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Very kind of you sending your cash today for this aging DJ. Thank you very much. Did you send that on the PayPal or the other thing? Just want to check. I'd hate you to send something and it for not to have got here. Not for my own point of view actually, but for yours. You know, you want to know it's come, don't you? Let's have a look. Oh, touch. I've got to touch now. I've got to touch my phone for PayPal. Touch it. There we go. There we go. I have a Remy was the last one. Remy, who kindly sent. Remy, Liam, Paul, and young Weird City, all kindly sending. Was it on there? Was it Steve? On there, the Tik Tok via wife's iPad, USD. Ah, that might be why it hasn't appeared yet. I'm sure it will. If you've done it on the PayPal, I'm sure it will. When you do it on the PayPal, I think my little face comes up. Can someone sort of tell us if it does or not? Does my face come up on the paper? I'm not sure. Paul and Ashford says, I love the butterscotch Angel Delight. Oh, I don't think I've had any of that. The butterscotch one. Sounds nice, though. Sounds nice. And Paul says, I'm too old for the Fred Perry chops. Don't want to look like mutton dressed like lamb. Oh, you wear them if you want to. Don't worry about them, mate. God's sake, man. Don't you worry about that. How you look. You wear what you want, my love. Evening to Caleb. Evening, Caleb. Lily doesn't like the smell of rotten eggs. Oh, God. You haven't heard my nephew farting. Oh, he stinks. No, actually, great nephew. Great nephew Harry is the world's worst farter. Gary says it was Pip Benefits payout last week, so we're all flush. Hello to Stu. Hello, Stu. Who says, Stu, on the subject of me coming out to repair, what no call-out charge, Chris? You can come and fix my window here in Germany next Friday after your show. Cheers, I'll pick you up from Cologne Airport. No call-out fee, no. Do you know, there's call-out fees and there's call-out fees, isn't there? You know, some people take the mick, don't they, with those call-out fees. It's shocking. It really is what goes on. There's so many greedy people around now. Well, you've only got to look at the electric and gas prices, haven't you, to see how greedy some people are there. Dan, from a jeans point of view, there's so many jeans sold as vintage, and they're not vintage at all. More like they were made 5 months ago. It ain't vintage unless it was made in a previous era. era. Yeah, I don't know. Mandy's going back to the coffins. She said, "Me and my mum were wetting ourselves with laughter." Was that who was it? Your granddad's coffin fell. They had to shake the coffin to level it out, and then it started me and our mum laughing off again. I don't think there's anything wrong with something going wrong at a funeral, actually. Do you? At least it keeps us all happy, doesn't it? Now, you don't want to go on this beach. The Daily Star is reporting the UK's most dangerous beach is littered with explosive devices, sudden drops and uneven ground, has had bomb squads and rescue teams warn people away from heading anywhere closer. See, this is the thing with modern warfare. And it's a terrible... I think one of the worst weapons ever invented, other than the nuclear bomb, are mines. Because they plant these blasted mines, and they can't remember where they are. No one makes a map, do they? Was it Princess Diana made a big thing of mines, and they should be banned everywhere? But I mean, how you ban something during a war, I don't know. You know, they're attacking you. I'm sorry, that's banned. You can't do that. It just doesn't work, does it? Anyway, it says in the Daily Star, a beach in the UK has been declared so dangerous that members of the public have been banned from using it. Mmmmm Beach has the usual litterbug problem beaches across the country struggle with, but the litter found in the Chichester-based beach is a little more explosive than the average crisp packet. Huge signposts warn of the hazards, covering the beach with hidden dangers, including explosive devices buried deep beneath the sand. See? Have you ever seen pictures of someone who's had their leg blown off? It's just, it's awful. And like you just see this half a leg with bones sticking out of it. I mean, the pain. They're terrible, those mines, aren't they? It says, beyond the usual issues of strong currents, uneven ground and sudden drops, both out at sea and on the beach, Mmmmm Beach has a real issue around explosives, landmines and ordnance devices. What's an ordnance device? I don't know that. Explosive ordnance devices. I don't know what that is. The issue has cropped up several times over the last few years with Selsey Coast Guard rescue team. I was down there in the south, frequently reminding people that they can't just head to the beach and start collecting explosive devices. They're collecting the damn things. Why would you want to bring a bomb into your house? Blimey. In a stern statement released to their Facebook page, a spokesman said, team paged to reports of possible ordnance military equipment found on Mmmmm Beach. On arrival, the items were confirmed as ordnance. A further search on the beach was carried out and more pieces were discovered. We would like to remind you that this beach is closed to the public as it has many hidden dangers. Well, of course, you've only got to tell a group of teenagers that, usually boys, and they'll be straight on there like as a dare, won't they? It's like some of these poor young people on TikTok, and they do these various challenges, and that little boy, what was his name now? That little Archie Battersby, wasn't it? Was he 9 or 12 or something like that? And he did this thing on TikTok. I don't even know what it was now. They set each other challenges, and some of them are really dangerous. It might be as simple as jumping off a mountain into the sea. We don't know what's under there. The sea may have nothing under there, and you just jump off and end up in water. Great. Unless there's a current that drags you under, or a few sharks swimming around. Or, or you could jump off there and actually the water isn't that deep because you can't see it from up there. Or has got rocks sticking out of there. Well, you're dead when you get down there, aren't you? And they mix up drinks, alcoholic drinks. So who can drink the most vodka, stuff like this. All these challenges these kids do to each other. Well, you can see them doing that on the beach. How quickly can you run across there without getting blown up? You can see them doing it now. The statement concluded, if you come across any ordnance or anything suspicious or unusual on the beach, please don't touch it. Call 999 and ask for the Coast Guard. Actually, where I am here in Bracknell, in Berkshire, you know, I live very close to a beautiful, beautiful forest. And I haven't been over there for some time. I used to do the litter over there, but it got better. I think more and more people started doing it, and I kind of transferred myself to doing a particular route around my house, which if I do the whole route is about a 2 to 2.5 hour round trip, which I usually do on a Saturday. So I haven't been over there much, but on the edge of it is a fenced area, which is where they do military activity and, you know, practicing whatever military people practice. I don't know, they blow things up. Sometimes you're here and you can hear things from here, like bangs and things like that. So maybe they test bombs out over there, I don't know. And on this fence, around this fence, are signs. You know, this is a military practice zone. If you see anything suspicious outside the fence, do not touch it. Please ring this number, that sort of thing. So we have it here, you know, but I suppose they have to practice somewhere, don't they, really, when you think about it? Paul said, I have an amazing creature flying up my lavender plants. Google hummingbird moth. It flies like a hummingbird and has a long pipe that it puts in its flowers. We're supposed to suck out the nectar, is it? So beautiful. Nature is amazing. Oh, it certainly is. Nature is very, very amazing, and we love it, don't we? I've had loads of Tweety birds here, and oh, there's a picture of it now. What a beautiful creature. Yeah, I see it now. See it now. And they seem to have disappeared, which is annoying, really, because I put up all these little coconuts full of some sort of white bird feed that the little tits were flying, and they were queuing up to take their turns. So I saw this happening, and I immediately went out and bought another load and put them all along the washing line, except they haven't been back. There's about £10 for 10 of those things, which isn't too bad, is it? Vera? They did. The kids do this with live rail tracks, jumping from one platform to another. Young people, you know, but that's just what they dare each other to do it. And of course, I think at that age, you kind of think you're a little bit indestructible, don't you? You know, at that teenage age, I suppose, really. Lily says, give out reservoir warnings, Chris, as villages have been flooding to make them, but folks don't know that they just normally see deep, shiny water. Why, are they dirty reservoirs? It's a massive reservoir I drove past the other way near Egham. Near Egham it is. I kind of going to work the other night, and for some reason it took me on this route. Which means all the motorways were jam-packed, so it tries to take you away from that. This reservoir is absolutely enormous. You can't see the water, of course, because it's like built up like that. Thank you. Mick, my mum had a mouthful of my nan's ashes. It was very windy. All right. What else have we got here? How about moving here? Now, Sardinia. Anyone fancy Sardinia to live? We have a picture coming up now. There we go. There's Sardinia. Would you like to live there? Nice and warm. I think you'd need air conditioning somewhere like that, don't you? I don't know, it looks a little bit too built up to me, really. I've been to Sardinia many years ago, doing a bit of DJing in an Italian holiday resort, which was great fun, actually. I was very lucky. Did some DJ in some lovely places, actually. Club Med resorts for skiing, and a couple of about 3 summer holidays as well. And they had like amphitheatres and places like that. And I kind of set up the DJ and stuff on a stage, and as well as playing the music, I'd work the sound for an artist, singers or someone like that, you know. Working the sound and whatever. Great. And, you know, of course I was paid not a huge amount to do. It's about 350 quid or 250 quid for the week. But, of course, I've got the holiday as well. You know, you've got your own room. You got fed. It's great. I've been very lucky years gone by with DJing work. But would you like to live in Sardinia? Because they'll pay you to go there. Wow. It's in the Daily Mail. right? The government of Sardinia is offering grants of up to £12,700 as an incentive for those considering a move to the idyllic Italian island. People keep leaving. Officials have ring-fenced £38 million for the initiative, which aims to help entice people to rural areas of Italy and bolster commerce in small towns by affording home buyers considerable financial aid. So they will give you up to £12,700 to move there. And I'm not sure of the weather in Sardinia. Would I be correct in saying it never gets sort of below freezing like it does here? Might just not been not too bad here for the last few years. You couldn't say that we had a cold winter. Few cold days here and there, that's it. My boiler went off in April. I cut, April, May, June, July, August. 5 months that boiler ain't been on. Happy days. And if we're lucky, we might get a mild winter. They're talking about a hot September, aren't they? Sardinia is the second largest island in the Mediterranean. Has any of you been to Sardinia? Second largest island in the Mediterranean, has long been considered a natural gem with a rich cultural history, over 1,000 miles of sandy beaches, picturesque port towns and Bronze Age ruins built as far back as 1500 BC. You see, if you wanted to try, if I was thinking about something like that, I'd want to try it out first. Perhaps you could long-term rent a villa there, say for a year, right? Before you sink your money into it. Because, it's not going to cost you nothing to go there. I would rent something for a year and see how I got on. And you'd have to do it for, not for 2 months, a year. You'd have to do it for a year. Because there's going to be ups and downs wherever you go. The question is, are the ups better than the downs? But is it one of those places that doesn't drop below freezing? I don't know, actually. It's Sardinia weather. Put Said. Sardinia weather. January. Let's see what the temperature is there in January. Oh, here we are. I've got average temperatures here. Temperatures, Sardinia, Italy. What a terrible blooming image. It's all blurred out. Maybe if I click on it. Is that weather? Oh, no, it does drop, really. It says the average high temperature in January is the coldest month, and it can get to 5.5 Fahrenheit, which is cold. That's probably colder than I thought it would be. That's probably colder than I thought it would be. Weather in January. Moderate winter month. Temperatures, average low is 5.5. Average high is 14.3. Well, that's not bad for a high, 14.3 in January, is it? I don't think we really see that here. But you would have to you'd have to go first, I think, really. It says, like other rural areas of Italy, the region is suffering from a dwindling population and shrinking economy. The younger generations go to the large cities for work. Sardinia President Christian Solinas said in a statement, thanks to these contributions to home buyers' first houses, Sardinia becomes fertile ground for those who will move there or decide to build a family. There can be no growth without a real enhancement of the territories of the interior and the most disadvantaged areas, which must pass through new policies for their reputation. So we've created new conditions for young people to decide to stay and develop the economic fabric of the most fragile territories. Don't say anything about actually retiring there. The property in question must be located in a municipality with a population of fewer than 3,000 people, as these are the towns most in need of an economic boost. So is that appealing to any of you? Move to Sardinia? Something like that? You might enjoy that, What do you reckon? Want to move there? Stu says, hearing about you chat about your DJing, Chris, has it crossed your mind to publish your memoirs? You're not the first person to say that. No, that has no interest to me writing a book or anything like that. I wouldn't want to do something like that. Thank you, Stuart, for your little comment there. All right. Anyone else want to move there? Sardinia, is that appealing to anyone at all? What's the time? 5 to 10. Oh, I'm doing all right today. I booked a holiday. I've booked a little holiday with my nephew and his family. We are going to Butlins. Don't think I've ever been to Butlins. I've been to Pontins. We used to go to Pontins as children every year. Mum and Dad took us. We'd have 2 weeks holiday. There'd be 1 week in Pontins, and there'd be 1 week at a bungalow or cottage that they hired somewhere. Several times at Brocklesham Bay in Sussex, where I'd like to visit this year. I haven't been there for a couple of years, and now and again I just like to go there and walk around and just take in memories really of my mum and dad and my sister and myself as small people, you know, going in and out of the chip shop there. And it's a bit different there now, of course. The Pontins has gone. That was replaced by a housing estate. But it's a nice place. I don't think I've ever been to a Butlins. And I thought I could get this as a Christmas present to my nephew and his family. So here's the deal, right? If you go, some others of you might be interested in this. This is for the Skegness one. 12th to the 16th, 4-night holiday. 12th to the 16th, we do 2 adults, 2 children. Okay? The cost of that, in a standard room, £96. Happy days. I didn't get them a standard room. I think I got them a gold room, if I remember rightly. The gold room, which comes then with a little bit of a kitchen and dining area, is £164. And you've got a silver room. That's got a cooking, £142. If you just want a room, okay, comfortable room, complete with bathroom with shower, there's no kitchen, okay, or anything like that, £96. 4 nights. Of course, the thing is that is in school term time. I believe the 12th of December, they're still at school. So you've got to work out that fine you're going to pay. Is that saving you a lot of money? Now, so that's the 12th to the 16th of December. I got them a gold room and I got myself a silver room. All right. And my nephew's wife has now linked the 2 bookings so that apparently they will try and do the best and put us close together. Now, that's the cheap one, you see. Now, if I go a week ahead... Oh, actually, I don't know if I can go a week ahead now. Looks like they're all fully booked. I think they're fully booked by the looks of it. 1 minute. No, I can't do that. The week after is gone now, which would of course be holiday time. That's all been booked up. Well, I did that at the right blooming time, didn't I? 16. Let's do 23. Oh, that's the Christmas week. What's that? The 17th. 7th of December. How much is 7th to 11th of December? That one would be... So that's a week before. I would imagine that's going to be roughly the same price. No accommodation types found. Oh, it says just a moment. Hang on a minute. That's for Skegness. I think they've got several different places. Nothing coming up for that. All right, let's change that again. Let's do the Christmas week. 1, 2, 3, 4 nights Christmas week. Right. Continue. Here we go. Oof. Okay, so the gold apartment for the Christmas week, £843. So you can see the difference. Yeah, that's a lot of cash, isn't it? Eh? Let's just go forward to March. Let's go 13th of March. 4 nights, 13th of March. Remember, I paid £164. And that is Gold Apartments, £542. So it's all about the dates, you see. It's all about getting your dates correct. If you're okay doing school time, you get a much... going outside of school time, you get a much better price going on there, don't you? All right. Lily says, worth paying more as eating out will cost more. You can get... No, that's not including the food. You can add a meal plan. But the thing is, being in Skegness, you've got all those chip shops and all those restaurants in Skegness. There's a place called RAF 52 or 54, something like that. And they do very good all-you-can-eat meals in there, which is really nice. There's plenty of places to go outside of the resort, or you can, of course, sort of pay as you go. All right. Okay, boys and girls. Well, we're kind of... it's 10 o'clock, so I think we're wrap up there, my darlings. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show on this Wednesday evening. We should have... Am I all right next Wednesday? I think I'm all right next Wednesday. Yeah, there'll be another show for you next Wednesday when it will be the last day of August. The last day of August. Yes, Skegness in winter, yeah. No problem. They got eating in the rooms. Oh, stop being a wet blanket, fag ash, little darling. They got eaters in there, my love. All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Thank you very, very much for your very kind, generous tips tonight. That's really kind of you. I didn't expect that tonight. Thank you so much. Some of you sent multiple tips as well this evening, which is very kind of you on the YouTube tip thing and also on PayPal. So thank you very much for those. I can keep the lights on a little bit longer then. All right. I'll see you for another chat show next Wednesday at the same time, 8 o'clock on this channel. If you'd like to join me tomorrow morning on your smart speaker, all you need to do is say Amazon, say that word for Amazon, you know, her name, play radio station, reach on air sometime tomorrow around 9 o'clock, and I'll appear there just after the 9 o'clock news, okay? If you are there, do send us a message when you're on, and I can read out names and stuff like that, and we can all have a little bit of fun there as well. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. I'm now going to have a cup of tea, but sadly no more orange wagon wheels because I haven't got any left. Thanks for watching and listening. Ta-da.